And now ready to make his way to the cage, Saad, the Assassin Awad.
Life can turn on a dime, believe that. Last August, Saad Awad was closing in on both fatherhood and a world title shot, but a broken hand cost him his fight with Patricky Pitbull, and then much more. He couldn't fight, he couldn't train, he couldn't carry things up the stairs of the home he shared with his wife the last few months of her pregnancy. They had to move, and just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, they did. His brother-in-law, Brandon, died suddenly in a motorcycle accident last fall. But the calendar turned. Saad got his hand back, he got his training back, he got his greatest gift, a daughter. All he needed, Jimmy, was a fight. And when this chance popped up, he didn't jump at it. He left.
That's right, no problem going up to 170. When I saw them weigh in, you could see he has a welterweight frame. He's a giant at lightweight, and the way he has won fights, the way he's knocked fighters out, hasn't been with big overhand brawling punches, but with precision. The Assassin, great nickname for him. He's a precision striker. That translates from 155 to 170. I have confidence, just like he does, that he can knock a guy out at 170, especially a guy like Cyborg. He can do it.
And on the day everyone's talking about Will Brooks, there's only one man to beat him, one man to knock him out. You're looking at him.
And now making his way to the cage, Evangelista, dos Santos.
There are easy jobs in life, there are hard ones, and then there's shoot the box. For nearly 2 decades, Cyborg Santos lived that life. And 2 years ago, after a second loss to Melvin Manoff, he retired. It was enough. But it turns out it wasn't the end of the road. It was just a way for him to find a new one. He refreshed his body, started training differently. He cleared what already is one of the most fascinating minds and well-read minds in all of MMA. And a student of historical biographies, Jimmy, he started to write a brand new chapter in his own.
Yeah, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. He came back into the sport, has been rededicated. That's why he took this fight on such short notice. He says, hey, I don't have time to wait a long time in between fights. Get me in there, I will fight every week, I'll fight every month. Shoot box style, that never goes away.
Fun to see the Twitter exchange between him and his ex-wife, Chris Cyborg. Talked about the last time they fought on the same day. She fought Gina Carano. That famous fight was in this building in San Jose. Cyborg Santos trying to write a new story. It seemed like he was an opponent for Brennan Ward, and what happens in MMA sometimes, the last thing you expect, the script gets flipped. Cyborg Santos comes up with a big win, and who could have imagined when he walked into the cage 22 days ago, we'd be talking about him trying to get a second Bellator win and moving on to that contender list at 170.
Well, that's what happens when you win quickly. You can turn around and fight again.
Cyborg Santos began his pro career in 1997. The Tale of the Tape brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
And look at the weight. Cyborg Santos 170.4, Saad Awad 169.9, but Saad Awad coming up from 155. Cyborg Santos, the naturally stronger fighter.
And coming down from 185, where he's fought so many times, to Michael C. Williams.
Presented by Miller Lite, Bellator MMA now features welterweights scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Is brought to you by Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Nothing is more effective for the treatment of nasal allergy symptoms. And now we introduce the blue corner first. At 5'11", weighing in 169.9 pounds, the Bellator veteran tonight brings 18 professional victories, 7 defeats from San Bernardino, California, presenting Saad, the Assassin Awad. And across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, at 5'10", weighing in 170.4 pounds, in his quick return to the Bellator cage, he now stands with 21 professional victories, 16 defeats. From Rondonópolis, Mato Grosso do Sul, he now fights out of Houston, Texas, Evangelista, Cyborg Dos Santos. In charge of the action, your referee, Jason Herzog.
There is no shortage of ways this particular fight could go.
First round. Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
The fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers, it's Miller time. Saad Awad broke his left hand on sort of a step-away hook midway through the first round against Patricky Pitbull and tried to gut things out, but didn't do enough to get that decision. All of a sudden, he left the Bellator cage that night with a loss he wasn't expecting, an injury he wasn't expecting, and took him all this time to get back in here.
There's an advantage, I think, for Santos. His leg kicks are brutal. Very good at wearing opponents down with his tie kicks, his clinch work. Saad Awad tends to rely a little bit more on his punches. Santos, he's trying to use that size advantage, trying to bully Saad Awad, able to get the takedown.
When you come down in weight, is there still a tendency to fight a bigger man's fight?
Yeah, you generally do. But the thing here is that Santos has always kind of had the same style. And he told us before the Brendan Ward fight, he says, hey, I have a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. I almost never use it.
Yep.
Why don't I change it up and use all of my game and not go that shoot-the-rock style every single time? And you saw it pay dividends.
We see so few fighters that have been in this game and been pros for 10 years. That was Santos's first submission win in 10 years.
Ridiculous. And the number of years he spent training on the ground. He's 12 years have been grappling, and and I just don't use it enough. I'm too programmed to be the Muay Thai warrior, but he has real submission skills, but Saad Awad knows that.
There's a real lesson in him stepping away and getting his body healthy. We're headed for a revolution, guys, in preparation. So many guys getting hurt before fights. It's happening at pretty much every level.
Set up the arm, looking for the arm bar. Santos has to be careful here. Has to get that leg off of his head. Sits back for the footlock. Exactly where he was with Brendan Ward, going for the heel hook.
He's almost had it sent. Saad trying to turn out of it.
Now he's doing what Brendan Ward didn't do, is trying to react with his hips. Don't expect Santos to give up easily on this. He's going back to the well here.
Saad Awad has only been submitted twice in 25 pro fights.
And he's going hard for it. The hook is not a forgiving position. It all goes at once. Going to the toe hold variation. He's trying to kick his way out.
Cyborg Santos, without a submission win in 10 years, just came an inch away from his second in 3 weeks.
Now Saad Awad trying to punch his way out. Landing some big shots.
Santos put himself in a bad position, and he's taking big shots here.
He might be out.
Santos in big, big trouble.
I don't know if his head is clear.
A ton of time left here in round one.
He keeps taking these, they're going to stop the fight. Jason Herzog is all over him, and he's still rolling. He's still going for it. That's why Herzog is letting this continue, because he's still trying to be aggressive, but man, he's taking some punches.
And you wonder about conditioning to help Saad Awad. He just spent the last 2 minutes just pounding away on Cyborg Santos.
Santos not giving up, still going for the leg. It's intelligent offense.
Did he pay enough attention to defense?
Exactly. This man, Saad Awad, is just unloading now.
Now the elbows.
Trying to get underneath the heel to change the angle on it, but...
And those elbows have opened up Cyborg Santos.
Man, his head is full of cobwebs right now. I don't know if you can see these coming. Right now, he's just defending.
And we're done. 3 weeks weeks ago, Cyborg Santos got the quick tap, the submission of Brennan Ward. Saad Awad stayed calm. He was able to roll out of trouble, and he stares at the fist that have brought him so many wins inside the Bellator cage, and he's back.
That is the flip side of leg lock offense. When you sit back, if it doesn't work out, you're on the bottom with the guy punching you. Saad Awad did not stop till he got the stoppage. Beautiful job.
Let's check out the Black Card Premium Spice Rum Replay, the bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Now let's start off with submission offense from Saad Awad, going for the armbar. Cyborg Santos sitting back for the heel, cranking on it, but the reaction of Saad Awad, he moved, he rolled, he changed the angle, and when Saad Awad sat up, that was the beginning of the end for Cyborg Santos. This position here, look at the left hands getting through. I think there were several times when it looked like Santos was knocked out and may have been woken back up by another punch. But Santos constantly going for the leg. That's what kept him in this fight. As soon as this hand slips off and he's purely in a defensive mode, he puts both hands up just like that. That's when Jason Herzog knew this was over. Excellent stoppage. As soon as Santos couldn't get the leg, this fight was over.
Saad Awad, whose road towards the title took a detour last summer, is back in the mix with an impressive first round win. That's, in MMA, a perfect game on the ground for Saad Awad, escaping the submission attempts of Cyborg Santos to score the victory. Michael C. Williams will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes officially 4 minutes, 31 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, Saad the Assassin Awad.
The new dad has a new lease on life inside the Bellator cage. Saad Awad is back in the winner's circle, and he's back with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Saad Awad. For a guy who just got over a broken hand, you showed a lot of confidence, throwing a lot of punches. You surprised at all that guy could take, man.
Oh yeah, I expected that, but I knew I had to throw everything from here to Palestine. So I had to throw everything I had, man, to get him out of here.
This fight, you said, I have confidence of knocking out anybody at 170 pounds. You looked great tonight. I gotta ask, back to 55, or are you sticking with 170?
Man, I think my next fight's gonna be at 55. I want to name. Thompson's hurt. He comes back. I want Thompson. I want a top 3 guy.
You heard it, Josh Thompson here tonight. You heard it, the challenge. Saad Awad, give it up for him.
Calling out Josh Thompson in San Jose. Saad Awad back in the winner's circle, scoring that win tonight to go to 19-7, and he will head back to 155.